Jeffy, let's talk about some energy this week.
Okay,
All right, let's do it. Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of So Much Energy. It's me, Jenny McKinney, and I'm here with Jeff Jones.
Jen, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, it's good times, huh?
Being here and being heard.
Being here, heard. All right, Jeffy. So, you sent us in the family chat an article talking about energy.
I did.
Okay. Do you want to share, kind of just share that little article with us, or the information in the article with us, and
Yep.
then?
Was not ready to do that. I don't have it pulled up
Oh.
exactly. Jen, I post a lot of stuff in the family chat.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Well, it's mostly because you're trying to butt kiss up to mom, make sure you're her favorite.
That's not the case.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Jen, the headline though in the article I posted though in the family chat was we emit a visible light that vanishes when we die.
Yes.
And it was from a new study that was done. Now,
Yes.
what they are saying though is that this light actually it is a glowing light, like what you think, and it comes from the heat that your body gives off. They find from your metabolism.
Oh.
So when your metabolism is working, it's giving off heat. It gives off so much heat that it actually emits a light.
Do you feel like that's the same as your aura?
It could. I mean, I guess
Do you
you'd
think
have to do
that's
a study.
what it's measuring?
I don't know. I feel like you'd have to do a study to see like when you'd have to study the metabolism and an aura, or like at the same time and see what the differences would be.
Yeah.
I don't like. I wonder, does your metabolism change with your mood? You
Oh.
know what I'm saying? Like as your
Yeah.
mood changes, would that change your metabolism?
Mm.
Like if
And
you're in
are
a,
they just measuring the heat coming off of your body?
they specifically narrowed it down to your metabolism. That's
Oh.
what the point of the
Oh,
study
okay.
was.
Okay. That's
So I
pretty
mean, I
cool
don't
though.
know. I don't know.
I don't know. That's super interesting though.
Hmm.
I've heard of different studies too that they're like scientists, almost like a sleep study, but it was
Right.
like a death study to see what happens when you cross over to the other side, and if there's like a light or like a stream of consciousness, or can they get a picture, like there's been some pictures that have been taken where you can see the like your energy coming up out of your body.
Yep. I do know what you're talking about. It's like a picture taken right at the moment of death.
Yeah.
There was also a study. This reminds me. I don't know if we talked about it on here or if Dad and I talked about it, but there was a gentleman who did a study that your soul actually has a weight to it, and I feel like it was like 0.28 grams
Yeah, I
or
do remember
something
you
like
saying
that.
that.
It's a
And
very small weight, but there's a gentleman who did a study, and he took into account everything your body would secrete upon death.
yeah.
Like you think like, well, that could just be the air leaving the lungs once the person, but it's more than that. All that's taken into account.
Yeah.
And he did a study and he found that like the human soul or your spirit has weight, and it's like an eighth of a gram or something.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Do you remember it being where he had weighed the person when they were alive and then weighed the exact same as soon as they passed?
Yep, I just looked it up because it was bothering me. It's
Yeah.
the claim is that the human soul weighs 21 grams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so crazy to think like 21 grams is running your whole meat suit.
yeah. He says it says he placed 6 dying patients on a scale, observing that they lost an average of 21 grams at the moment of death.
Mm, that's
Hmm.
so interesting to get that measurement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So crazy too because I wonder, what'd be real interesting is so when I do energy work, I so let's say if we were doing an energy session and you agreed for me to be able to tap into your energy.
Right.
What that would look like is I leave my body, okay, and we go out into like I call it like black space, right? So I leave and then I meet your energy body out there and then like work on you with spirit, meaning like my spirit team comes in, your spirit team comes in, and then there's like a healing in your energy field that goes on. But wouldn't it be interesting to know if I took a measurement before I left my body and then after, like if they could weigh my body when I'm out of it?
Right.
Almost like an out of body experience.
Right. Because that would kind of be like your soul traveling,
Right.
your spirit. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, super interesting. I did share on Facebook this week that I was working on somebody and they had reached out for an energy session. And a lot of times I get visuals, right? And now my energy sessions are also crossing the line into mediumship, meaning like the person's loved ones will start coming in and some of them kind of get sassy with me. They're like, "Are you gonna just keep talking, or are you gonna get doing this session?" You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
because that's their personality, which is so much fun. But there's, just a team of people that are in this session, so I'll be able to like, see things, hear things, and I just wait for these messages to come in and I take notes, and then I give them to the person after the session, right? So at the very end of the session, I just said to Spirit, is there anything else you want me to tell her, before we disconnect? And it was funny because we're out in black space, right? And then all of a sudden this elephant walks over and, on the back of the elephant, almost like for a circus, it had it was on like a red blanket over its back and it said address on the side. And I was like, address? Like, what's the address of the elephant? And then I thought, oh my gosh, you have to address the elephant in the room. Oh my gosh. So, like, instead of them just telling me the message, like, they show
Right.
me, like, funny, like, little puzzle pieces, and it was address the elephant in the room. So, I. I don't get to perceive or project or do anything with my own thoughts on that. I just have to, say, hey, an elephant just walked in with the address on the blanket, and then, I just share like what's going on for them. There's other times too, like in energy, they'll just show me a potato. I don't know what that means. And so I just put potato like in the notes, just random. And then come to find out, they're like, oh yeah, potato farms run in our family. And I'm like, okay, well, as long as you know, like, I don't get to pick what does that mean for them.
Right.
I
That's
just, potato.
just there it is. There it is.
Yeah. So pretty interesting with energy sessions, but they've also been working out really well. And I just taught a Reiki class last weekend, which was amazing because everybody in the class was able to do like their own self healing,
Right.
to bring their own energy. And interesting too, I had a question for you. So just to kind of share, what is Reiki? Reiki is when you pull energy down from like the universal source of energy.
Gotcha.
Like it's abundant. Like you're just pulling in air like into your lungs. This is just pulling energy down from the
Wherever.
ethers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Reiki is pulling it down from the sky, and quantum energy is pulling it up from the
Gotcha.
ground.
Like,
Yeah. Right. So I do both because it's like it creates a balance is how I
I know
feel,
what you're
because if you're
saying.
just pulling it down, it's like, I guess, one-sided. But because I feel like I'm also connected to the earth, I pull up that earth energy as well. And I've actually seen one of my previous mentors, she actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to use the word healed, but she healed somebody from spina bifida by just doing quantum energy on that person.
Mm.
So like their spine was like 75% curved, and she worked on her for I think 6 months, not consistently, you know what I mean, like different
Right.
sessions, and it was reduced I think down to like 10 or 15%. Yeah,
Nice.
so I knew
Nice.
how important that energy was, but to pull it down, and it's kind of like a funnel, you know what I mean, like that's how I think of it, like a funnel. But my question is, if I'm describing Reiki energy to you and I say I pull energy down, or somebody's describing it and we pull energy down from blank,
Right.
what is it, like, what do you feel like that blank is? Like, some people have told me, oh, I'm not down with that because you didn't use the word God. Like, if I use, like, I'm pulling this source energy from God, you know?
Yeah, kind of like what you said. It's from like the ether. Like,
Yeah, like it's abundant, right? But like, where is it coming from? Because it's always replaced. Like the air is recycled, right? Because then the trees give it off, and then we get to breathe it, and all those things. But like, where, like, the energy is available, and it's can come on down. You know,
hmm.
it's kind of funny because all I keep seeing is the aliens on Toy Story when they're in there, and the claw is coming down, and they're like, oh, like, pick me.
I like to think that they're the chosen ones. Like that's what gets chosen. The clutch decides, and then they get chosen, and then they're
Yeah.
on for better things, and then they get tossed into
Ah,
like a kid's life.
yeah. Right. But yeah, so yeah, that's just interesting. Just wanted to get your take on what you think. I feel like I should make up a word too. You know what I mean? Like, for space, or the ethers. I feel like there's like another really good word that I need to use, and then people are like, "What?
Do you
What are you?"
think you're like pulling it from like a different dimension, like a parallel dimension, like a dimension that's similar to ours, but it's not, but it is, but it
Yeah,
isn't.
but like it's in the sky, but you can't see it. Like, I think we're like, there's different things happening around us, but like we have access to it, but at the same time, like, I don't think our eyes can let us see that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good
Hmm.
question. Yeah. Kind of like Bigfoot.
That would be a different dimension.
Oh,
Also similar,
but
also
different.
similar to like the spirit world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, super interesting. Yeah, I do love that they could measure the soul. That's pretty cool. Um, so I've been working with this is a little bit kind of on the topic of spirit. I've been working with my mentor now for probably 6 weeks on trance mediumship. Did we talk
All right.
about like what that
We
entails?
you mentioned it real quick before.
Okay. So, to kind of explain, trance mediumship is when you connect with the spirit and you let the spirit talk with your body, like your body is talking for that spirit, right? It's
Gotcha.
it's like
Kind of like
channeling.
on Ghost,
Yes, exactly.
kind of like
So
what
like,
Whoopi Goldberg did on Ghost.
yes, exactly. Yes. So, when the spirit came into Whoopi, and then she was, given the information from that spirit, that's exactly what it's like.
Yeah,
So, but I think movies have ruined that for us, because it's like, oh, I'm possessed, like, no, that's not how it happens. But this has been very scary for me, just my personal opinion, because essentially, like when I connect and do a mediumship reading, spirit will come up to me and then we communicate that way, right? And they keep getting closer and closer and closer, and now I can actually feel them and feel their personality and things like that. But this is more, I have to get out of the way for them to move all the way in.
Come through.
Yeah, yeah. So let me tell you what happened today. Okay, so I was finally able to do it this morning. So we had class this morning, and it takes me probably like, and I feel like 5 to 10 minutes, but I don't know that because I don't know how long. Um, but I leave my body. Last time I went to the beach and I could see what I was doing, like see my body, what was happening.
Yep.
But this time I went out and I was hiking. Okay, so I'm out there hiking and I'm like trekking through, getting up the mountain, and there's like fruit trees. I don't know where I was at, but then they're like, oh, picking apples, pears, and lemons, and then I start eating this apple, but then I'm gonna choke. I start choking on the apple, but I'm not in my body, so I can't cough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I feel like I'm like foaming at the mouth, but I'm not, because I'm not in my body. So I turn around and look, and I can feel that there's another like spirit coming in close. Okay, and I know, and then Taz starts talking to this person who is now in my energy field, and he started giving her information. And one of her questions, she asked 3 questions, which was really weird, because when like something's echoing, but it's not like, it's like almost like when you're in an elevator, like you can kind of hear the question, but it's not directly in your ears. I don't know if
Right.
that's the only way to describe it, but it kind of echoed, and then I just hear her say, like, how would you describe love? And then he says, love is an experience, and then starts going on and talking about love. And then I can't remember the second question because I couldn't hear it, but all I know is he explained the death process as like he went to the light, right? Like he it was life, and then he's going to the light, and then his dad came in, and then when he got to the light, it's almost like he was birthed again. So like birthing and death seem to be the same process, is what he was explaining. But here's the crazy part. I'm still out on a hike, and it's almost like I got to like, he almost like opened this portal, it felt like, and then I got to like see around the side of it, like he was showing me a movie of what he was talking about. The other crazy
Gotcha.
thing is, my body, my mouth wasn't moving as fast as he was talking. It was like very slow, very like almost kind of whispery. He was not loud or anything, and it definitely was not me. And it was so crazy because when he went to answer, but I would turn around and look at my body, I could already hear the answer before my mouth was moving. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
telepathically. Yeah.
Huh.
So, yeah, so that was pretty amazing. You know what I mean? As far as like energetic and spiritual experience, because this was the first time I've been able to do trance mediumship. And I will say, like when I came back, it was about 2 hours. I was still crying from like, I could feel like how much this guy loved his dad and how excited he was to see him, you know, and just
Nice.
like how like, and really just to compare that, the birth and death process as it being the same, right? Because you're like warm and cozy, and then you like leave off, and then you're kind of, pulled to somewhere else.
Right.
It's kind of the same, which is pretty interesting to think about. I know if people are like, you're making it up. I was like, I can't even make that up. Like,
It is crazy to think that you could be like the what you see when you die is what you see right before your birth.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Like, yeah. Maybe don't
Hmm.
yell big hole opening up. Which would be so weird if you are part of a C-section, right? Because
Right.
like you're supposed to be doing this thing like to come and get out of there. But then all of a sudden, like people are
You
just,
pulled out the side,
yeah, you are the chosen one and you're getting the claw from the top, you know?
forceps.
Yeah. Ah! Yeah, super.
Yeah, I was just talking at work yesterday about that. I had a friend, his wife's pregnant. It's
Oh,
their first kid,
yeah.
and he's like, she's afraid she's gonna have a C-section.
Oh,
He's like, do you know? He's like, he started asking me about that. I go, yeah, my wife had emergency C-section on the first kid, and then the second one, it was just a scheduled
yeah.
delivery because he didn't happen by the due date.
Right.
So they just, since she already had a C-section, they took him out that way. But I
Yeah.
explained the whole process to him. He was mortified.
Yeah. We missed the video that day, thank goodness. But I think I would have been more freaked out had I seen a video because I didn't,
Where
I
did you
don't.
see a video of it?
Well, we were taking birthing classes.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So it
did
was like
that.
a 4-week birthing class, and we made it 2 weeks, and then I had to have go in the hospital.
Oh, yeah, we took no birthing classes, and we were in labor for like 13 hours, and then finally they realized like his umbilical cord was around his arm, and his arm was keeping him from coming out.
Oh yeah.
And by then she had already been pushing for so long, and like her body was already like traumatized, and
Yeah.
so they just all of a sudden like, boom, this is happening. And like
Yeah.
I had
Well,
no idea it was a lot.
it was a lot. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. I don't know. Pick your own experience, you know what I mean? Like if you can handle the video, do it, but if not, don't. You know what I mean? Like and I don't know. I mean, I feel like there should be additional parenting manuals too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, because they're just kind of like flipping that nugget all over, like they're tossing it around like it's a football out on the
I
field.
know. It's crazy though, but like even if you write a book about it or you make a movie about it or something, like it's not something you're gonna really grasp until
Right.
you have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of
Yeah.
like you could read about it, and people show you how to do it, and then it's like, all right, go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's still like 90% of it's gonna come from just experience,
Yeah.
just doing it.
I know. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, I just want to share too with the listeners. Just talking about Kaz, she's coming here from Europe at the end of June. So June 28th and 29th, she's going to be here for 2 days. And the first day we're going to do evidential mediumship, which is mediumship like you connecting. The second day is trance mediumship. Also, if you're not interested in one of those things, you can still be an observer. This is for really all ages and all levels. Like she's coming here just to teach the class as a whole. So it's hard to say because she doesn't have a set schedule just yet because she wants to
Right.
she's spirit led, right? So she's gonna come in. There's times that we have class scheduled, and she's like, "Oh, this isn't anything about what I was thinking we're doing today," and then she just listens to spirit for what needs to happen, and then that's what she does. So it's specifically tailored to all of us. We have a few spots left. So Friday night, the 27th, will be a meet and greet, and then the class 9 to 5 on the 28th and the 29th, and we have reduced hotels, um, a reduced hotel in the area too. So if
This
you're
is for in
interested,
person?
yes, in person.
Oh, I thought this was online.
No, in person. Yes, thanks for
Oh,
asking. In Tennessee, so come on out. Oh, also, if you're interested and you would like to stay a little bit longer, on Monday we're going gem mining and hiking. So we're going to find booby rocks and do a hike. Oh,
nice.
and maybe cardio drumming that night, depending on if we have time or not. There's a lot of time for activities, but cardio drumming is drumming on an exercise ball, which is real fun. But then you have to do jumping jacks and run around and do all this other stuff. So it's like 600 to 700 calorie burn for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So eat your piece of
There.
pizza and then let's
Bulk
burn it
up.
off. I
Yep.
know. I know. Oh man. So yes, if you're interested, feel free. There's a registration and jenny-mckinney.com. Also put a link down below so you can just click it. You can register. You just have to pay before the class. We want to get you on the schedule with us, and spots are limited. So, feel free to join us. I'm excited to see you there. And Kaz is amazing. So, again, even if you haven't ever seen mediumship, you should still come because she'll help you tap into your gifts that you didn't even know you had. Okay, and it's $300. So just to put that out there, it's $300, and which is a great cost for her to be here from Europe.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good deal.
yeah, awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here, everybody, and we will see you again next week. Okay?
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Remember, wherever you go, there you are.
that's where you're at.